Hey guys and girls, this is the Furious by the name of Man of Fury, aka the Underdog for Underground. Back again during my live raw discussion on One Piece manga chapter 898. Let y'all know there will be spoilers ahead, so please proceed at your own risk. On that note, let's go. Alright, the first key point I will discuss in my discussion has to be the fin smokes, as they take the majority of the chapter by storm. And for example, the first thing we see as far as the fin smokes feats is we see a bunch of Big Mom's fodder characters shooting bullets at the fin smokes. Even though they had bulletproof skin, which off the top of my head, I find that kind of strange because if Big Mom has this whole network that she's so proud of, shouldn't the fodder characters have a report on the fin smokes knowing that not to shoot bullets at them because of their bulletproof skin? So that's something I want to discuss at a later time about some of the faults with this arc. But besides that, as the fin smokes is taking names and kicking ass, we see Jinbei back in the Sunny make a good point when he's talking about why would a German double six return right now? It couldn't be just to take their heads, could it? Even Nami didn't know the full answer for that. Only thing she stated was the fact that they helped before when it was trying to get over the last hump with Caesar to fly over the cliff to escape Whole Cake. But even then, during that time, we seen what transpired after that. We seen that Katakuni basically turned Ichiji into his bitch, and Big Mom took out Judge, and the rest of the Big Mom crew, the stronger ones, overpowered the fin smokes during that time. So that's why I said that's a good point for Jinbei to ask, like, why would they come back right now? The obvious answer we got from Ichiji was because they want revenge on the Big Mom Pirates for basically betraying them. But I think it's something deeper than that. I'm thinking that maybe during the course of this arc, that Sanji gained their respect enough to the point where I wouldn't say they respect him as an equal, as a royal, but maybe they respect him enough as like just their weak little brother, to the point where they still think he's not on their level, but they gotta give him some props for what he did so far in his arc, for what they seen with their own eyes. So maybe that could be that. And my second idea on this topic is, did Judge have some type of role to play as far as the brothers going back to help Sanji and Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats escape from Whole Cake? Because Reiju referenced something back during Sanji's flashback when Reiju said that none of the brothers or herself could disobey Judge's orders because of some type of failsafe device built in with the children. So if that's the case, could Judge just have ordered the kids to go back? Because of this built-in failsafe, whatever it might be like a code word, or might be something built into the children to make them all obey Judge's orders. So that could be possible. Far as the other reason for the brothers and the rest of Germany to come back and help Sanji and them at that point. Reiju is modified, and she did say she had to listen to her dad's orders, but she have enough motions to do things on her own without being controlled to a certain extent by Judge's controls. So that's why Reiju really not a part of that. I'm more focused on why the brothers would help Sanji, but that's possible as far as the whole Judge thing. Also, it's one thing I definitely want to see in the end of this arc is the return of Judge and have that heart to heart with Sanji, so Judge can reference everything with Sanji's mother, as far as Sora, so he can find out what is Sora's place in the story. Is Sora the mythical hero that Fido mentioned back at the very beginning of Whole Cake when he was talking to Sanji about the World Government comic and mentioned that the legendary hero Sora and a giant robot fighting the evil German double six? Could Sanji's mom actually be the same Zora from the comic? That's one thing I want to know. If they ever have this heart to heart talk. And I want to know more about this history that Judge was referencing back when he attacked Big Mom, talking about the 300 days or 600 days, I believe. I'm not sure. Of German double six walking around without any territory. I want to understand more of what the judge mean by that. Is that going to come complete with a backstory? So that's something else I want to know. So what's y'all thoughts about this? Do y'all want to know more about the history of the Fin Smokes when Judge finally sit down to have this heart to heart talk with Sanji? What other things you want to be revealed about the Fin Smokes that you think can be helpful in the story or connects with the story? So leave something down in the comment section below. Also, with the Fin Smokes, we see them each have a impressive moment in this chapter. The first one we see is when we see Ichi attack Oven with his sparkling Falconry attack. That's basically like a light fist attack he uses on Oven that basically shuts Oven down for a moment. It doesn't take him out as a KO or nothing. It just stuns Oven enough so Sanji can get away. The other impressive feat we see is when we see Yonji come to play with his wrenching beheading attack. He basically grasps the one character by the neck and basically his arm just stretches out and spins the ball around while he basically takes out other fodder Big Mouth characters. The next impressive feat I want to discuss is Niji. When we see Niji come in talking Sanji, talking trash to him a little bit, saying, "Bro, you're going too slow with your skywalk." And then he uses his Henry Blazer attack along with that light sword he was using to basically slice up all the fodder Big Mouth characters in a hurry and also give enough speed bursts so Sanji can get some more separation for the rest of the characters, a Big Mouth crew. And then kicks him off in the sky to the curb. And the most impressive one I have to go by is that my main girl, Reiju. When they was getting ready to take out Sanji out the sky with that tear gas, she just comes and uses some type of poison attack to basically demobilize the rest of the people that was like getting ready to snipe Sanji out the sky. She called it Pink Hornet, I believe. Since she cares about her brother, we see the flashback where she basically tells Sanji not to come back. So that was still impressive as far as an emotional standpoint. To see the last character do her feat had to be the one who cares the most for Sanji. Excuse me. Alright, it's one thing in this chapter I want to quickly discuss, and it goes to talk about the Big Mouth Pirates. In this chapter, we see that the Fin Smokes is actually causing damage to the Big Mouth Pirates. And to me, it's just like kind of frustrating as far as when it comes to the Big Mouth Pirates is concerned. Only because if I recall, the first time that the Fin Smokes fought the Big Mouth Pirates, when they was trying to escape from the Tea Party the first time, they got their asses kicked. Like Katakuni literally single-handedly made Niji his bitch along with Ijiji. And Yonji and Reiju couldn't do nothing against the rest of the Big Mouth Pirates, the stronger characters of the Big Mouth Pirates. They couldn't do nothing. And now to see them in this chapter, like really giving work to Oven and the rest of the characters of the Big Mouth Pirates, even though they fought her, is maddening to me because if anybody remember my last chapter review for 879, I'm sorry, 897, I'm sorry, I said that if the Big Mouth Pirates work together and with their numbers, they are unstoppable. And we've seen what they did in the last chapter to Luffy and Sanji. And that's when everybody's on the same page. And in this chapter, we see the Big Mouth Pirates. Is it possible that they underestimated the Fin Smokes? Just because of the fact that whatever idea they had of the Fin Smokes of them being weak because of what happened the first time. So when they seen them return, they were just like, okay, if it's the Fin Smokes, it's German double six, but we still strong enough to take them out. And maybe that's why it played to a factor with some of these characters and some of the decisions they made, like the father characters using the bullets knowing that the fin smokes is bulletproof. And far as how they didn't work together or use more communication, that could have played a part of it because maybe they thought that just their sheer numbers and power alone could take out the fin smokes. And we've seen that it basically came back to bite them big time. But for a Yonko crew to over and over in the story arc underestimate their enemies, that's basically like it's weak. It's like disrespectful. I know they haven't met nobody else on their level in a while except for other Yonko. But for this to happen this much in this arc, I'm starting to feel like maybe Big Mom's crew is the weakest of the Yonkos. Or they just like got fat cats after a while being on top as Yonko and just start taking things for granted. Which really connects to what Brule said many chapters ago when she was talking to Nami back in the Seducing Woods, when she referenced Mad Monk and how Mad Monk beat Snack and then Cracker came and took him out. When she stated that everybody from the worst generation comes to Big Mom territory and they all bow down. Like she was saying that nobody could come and be on Big Mom's level or the crew level because they're too weak. So using that preference, maybe they was overestimating them, and that's why I played a part in the chapter. Because if it didn't, then I can't understand the power gaps between the first time the Fin Smokes fought Big Mom crew and now. So if you have any opinions on that, leave something in the comment section below. Also in this chapter, we see that Brule finally tells the rest of the Big Mom pirates how Luffy defeats Katakuni. And once that reaction hits for all the Big Mom pirates to hear, it went from different levels of upset. They went from angry to shocked to appalled to basically conceding that it never happened. And to the point, it was just like we see all these different reactions and frustrations of the fact they're their prize runner, the strongest runner of the Big Mom Pirates, with the legendary undefeated streak, was basically taken out, in the words of Oven, by a little punk ass kid, Luffy. And knowing that we know already, far as that the fact that Charlotte Flamme says that she's going to tell the rest of the Big Mom Pirates the truth about Katakuni's face in the near future once she wakes up from being out cold because of their King Hockey. We seen like 6-7 chapters ago. I want to know how this is going to make everybody react to Katakuni, knowing that one, he lost to Luffy, and two, he's basically deformed. Is this going to lead to more isolation for Katakuni? Or will Katakuni just say enough is enough and basically tell all his brothers and sisters in some sort of way to shove it, in effect saying that I am who I am, either you like me or basically fuck you. That's what hopefully he would say. But seriously though, how do you think it will affect Katakuni? Will it finally make Katakuni leave the Big Mom Pirates and go off on his own? And if so, if he do, where do y'all think he would go to? I know I've seen the theorist known by the name Flying Panda made a theory about Katakuni probably leaving the Big Mom Pirates and going to go join the Revolutionaries. I can see that as a possibility, especially at the end of the arc, if it transpires the way I think it will, with Katakuni becoming more ostracized and bearing the blame of the reason why the Straw Hats basically shocked the Big Mom Pirates and defeated them all and basically destroyed most of the territories because of Katakuni not being as strong as they say he is. So I could see Katakuni basically having enough of being isolated, especially being blamed for everything, and probably like go start his own thing. So revolutionaries is a good idea. So what other ideas y'all have for Katakuni going forward? Do you think he's going to join his own pirate crew and have a whole bunch of former Big Mom pirates join his crew and do his own thing? Or do you believe that he might join the revolutionaries? Or is it some of y'all who still believe he could be like an ally to the Straw Hat crew? Let me know in your comment section below. Alright guys, we see that Sanji and Luffy is almost at the Sunny, and after that, things should be smooth sailing, right? Of course not. Everybody who know One Piece always know that Oda throws a curveball. So I'm expecting when the new chapter 899 come out, we're going to see like one of the Big Mom pirates finally catch up to Sanji, intercept him, and it's going to cause that fight we've been waiting for. I got a feeling it got to be either out of three choices: Dafuku, Oven, or my man Snack. With Dafuku, I could see a genie probably using some type of cloud of smoke ability to make Sanji vision become visually appeared. And then from there we have Dafuku and Sanji fight, which would be a perfect setup because we've seen back in the Tea Party, Dafuku was the one using his genie, the one who basically slammed Sanji to the ground. So a Dafuku and Sanji battle is the first thing of mine. The second thing of mine gotta be Sanji versus Oven, because Sanji is the one that kicked Oven, and Oven didn't even know it was him when they was up there making a cake. And the third one I really want to see the most has to be the former commander, the 600 million berry man Snack. To me, that's the best setup for a fight out the other two for Dafuku Oven. Only because we know that he's a former commander and he gotta be incredibly strong. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do y'all want to see Dafuku versus Sanji, Oven versus Sanji, or Snack versus Sanji, or maybe somebody else? So let me know in the comment section below. Alright, for the last part of my discussion video, I want to talk about the hydrogen cover story. In this cover story, we get introduced to a new giant navigator named Rhodes. And they said that Rhodes was introduced in One Piece manga chapter 866. And for those who don't remember what that chapter was about, that was the beginning of the Big Mom backstory, where we found out that the parents, or whoever the Guardians was, abandoned Big Mom on Elbaf, and then somehow, some way, she met up with Mother Caramel and became part of the orphanage. And the end of that chapter, she started going to her first food rage when she started getting addicted to the Semlop and started raising havoc on Elbaf. But when I read that chapter, I couldn't really put my finger on who Rhodes could be. We get to see a young Hydrogen in that chapter, and he was up there training to become part of Dory's and Rocky's crew. And I think we see like a smaller character in the background of that panel, where he's like sitting back there smiling, but it's nothing definite to point out if this is the character they're talking about, Rhodes. The only other idea I have off the top of my head is that Rhodes was one of the giants being executed that was already a part of Dory Bragi's crew. And that now he's like older and that he just want to join Hydrogen crew because he knows that he looked up to Dory Bragi. But besides that, I have no idea definitely who this character Rhodes was in that chapter 866. So anybody else who read that chapter can point out the younger version of Rhodes or what Rhodes was in this chapter they mentioned and what was he doing. Please leave that in the comment section below. But as far as with this cover story, I have a couple questions I want y'all input on. The first question is, do y'all really think that Buggy is going to take revenge on Hydrogen and the rest of the pirates? Because the reason I'm saying that is we already know Buggy's about his money. And now that the giant pirates is one of his most profitable earners, do we see Buggy doing something similar like he did with Luffy and just trying to go out on his own and take him out because he probably like, if I can't have him, nobody will type of thing? And the second question is, what part you think Hydrogen is going to play, like far as with the part two of the Big Mom story? Because we know Hydrogen has some ill feelings with Big Mom, especially what she did to Fallbeard many chapters ago when she killed him. So I definitely want to see how that's going to play out between Hydrogen and Big Mom if they get to interact with each other in like the part two of the story when they get to Elbath. And I want to know how strong Road is. In the cover story, we see Road with like a long sword. Is he like the navigator and the swordsman of Hydrogen's crew? That could be a possibility. I'm not sure. So, what are y'all thoughts on the cover story with Hydrogen? Do you think it's going to lead up to something epic when we get to Elbath? And do you think we're going to see Buggy try to take his revenge of Hydrogen in like some kind of comedic way? Because he left the Buggy delivery service? Let me know in y'all comment section below. And on that note, I'm wrapping up my discussion. Like, comment, subscribe if you like my discussion video. And also check out my Facebook page, Man of Fury 2K10. And a man's dreams will never die, guys. Have a good night.